The Summer I Turned Pretty and Team Conrad fans are bringing back something that used to be so core to our idea of romance, and that is yearning. Frankly, a lot of us have been yearning for heroes who yearn for quite a while now, and people who feel like they are more Team Conrad, who feel like they are bursting at the seams every time these two characters are on screen together, every time Conrad talks about how much he wants Belly, but how much he has to hold himself back for her own happiness. That is not only an explosive moment because yearning is so good, but because media has kind of been depriving us of it for so long. Yearning for a period of time felt like the core default when it came to romance, and that period of time was also during sort of like the YA heyday. That was when Twilight was blowing up, where a character like Edward Cullen became not only so popular with teenage girls, but also with women in their 20s and 30s because of this deep yearning that he held for Bella in this romantic space. This was also around the same time that The Hunger Games was published, and Peter Millark was again one of those yearning characters that was willing to sacrifice himself for the betterment of the person he loved. And we could go down such a long list of characters and love triangles that existed in this space. But it also goes all the way back to Regency romances, where characters are deeply afraid to say how they feel, but also hold such deep yearning for the main female character. And The Summer I Turned Pretty, the TV show, is really revitalizing why we loved that. Why women want to feel the love of a man that would actually hold back their own self-interest, their own happiness, to make sure they're doing right by this woman that they love. And I think obviously it makes sense that this show is doing so well at that because these books started to be published in 2009, which is right smack dab in the middle of that yearning renaissance. The Summer I Turned Pretty feels so reminiscent of that time because it actually is a product of that time. And one of the things that I'm actually really hopeful that we get from this and from how big this show has become is maybe a return to that. I feel like teen media and YA media in general kind of had this long period of time where it started to disappear. We used to have a really robust amount of young adult television. We had the CW, we had MTV, we had Freeform, but as those networks have started to go by the wayside, we've lost Jess from Gilmore Girls, we've lost Peter Millark, we've lost Edward Cullen. In some ways, I feel like we have genuinely lost the recipe of yearning. And for me, I think one of the reasons why this is working so well is because sometimes yearning feels more intimate than actual explicit scenes. When we go the direction of having no yearning, of no buildup, of no like Pride and Prejudice moment where they hold hands and she's not wearing gloves, we get rid of all of the buildup. We get rid of all of the moments that make that ultimate coming together of two characters feel so good. Because feeling earned and feeling this amount of time of feeling like if you could just open your mouth and say how you feel, everything would be okay. That is romance. That can sometimes be intimacy. And so my biggest hope with The Summer I Turned Pretty blowing up in the way that it has is that we also get a return of yearning. And so for you, if you are Team Conrad, is yearning something that you have missed seeing on screen?